Cut that off. That was really good though. I really like that song. But we're gonna cut that off because we have to talk today, man. Welcome back to another video. As you can see, we've got the red light on tonight. You know, I may tell Shorty, right, that the red light just looks cool. That's why I got it on. But in reality, it's nighttime. We don't want that bright blue light fucking up our circadian rhythm. I got the red light on to protect us. She don't know that. I'm just kidding. I tell her that because I don't give a fuck. I'll have a girl in the bed. I'll throw a nasal strip on, man. I don't give a fuck. Anyways, today we're talking about the wound, my brothers. The wound. All right. This is something that affects every single man, regardless of who you are, man. It does. It is the wound, and it is the necessary wound, right? Why is it the necessary wound? What is the wound? CT, what the fuck are you even talking about? How do I level up as a result of this? I'm going to tell you. The wound, my brothers, is, it can be in a million forms, right? We've got the mother wound, we've got the father wound, and we've got a plethora of practical what that actually looks like for each, okay? But I'll give you a few examples. The mother did not choose the son. He felt not chosen by his mother. She prioritized other things. She prioritized her new man. She prioritized drugs. She prioritized alcohol. She prioritized her job. She prioritized stripping, whatever the fuck it was, right? That's a mother wound. And there's a million other types of mother wounds, right? But that's an example. Father wound. Easy, right? Father was not present. That's a huge father wound. For how many people? Father was not emotionally available, even though he was physically present. That's a huge father wound. For how many people? Father was angry, drunk, aggressive, controlling. That's a huge father wound. For how many people, right? So it is no question that there are countless men walking around right now with massive father and mother wounds wide the fuck open, not addressed at all, okay? What is the problem with that? An unaddressed wound is going to show itself. It's going to reveal itself no matter what. If you ignore it, suppress it, are not aware of it, it is going to present itself in different ways, right? So what does that look like? CT, I keep on going back to the same girl even though she's toxic for me. All right. There's one manifestation. CT, I keep going back to porn even though I know it's not. See where I'm going? CT, I keep on. I just don't feel like I'm good enough, and I feel like I'm seeking approval from people. I feel like I'm worried about what people think of. Do you see my point? It is essential to be wounded. It's a rite of passage. It happens to every single fucking person. It happens to everyone. There's no way around it. So it's good. It's fine, right? It's nothing to be ashamed of to have received the wound, because that means you exited childhood and adolescence as a normal human being. We all receive the wound. What separates us is the men that do not become aware and do not address. That's the majority, right? There's men that become aware. I think, yeah, I'm experiencing these things, CT. I'm experiencing some of those examples I mentioned, right? I'm worried about what people think. I'm going back to the same You know, I got the side chick, I got the main chick, you know. All right, but they don't do anything about it. Or maybe they want to do something about it, but the moment that they step into the arena of doing the work, so to speak, it's uncomfortable. It's scary. It hurts. It sucks. And they leave. And they go back to doing the same shit, living in the same cycle forever. Okay? The majority of men will go to the grave never having addressed or healed any of these wounds, and therefore the majority of men will go to the grave reenacting and living and being caught in the same cycle their entire life. Isn't that crazy? And then you have the men that they get the wound, like all of us do. They become aware, man, there's something off here. There's this pattern I'm in. There's this thing I do. They step into the arena of doing the work, and they go, this is fucking scary. This is really uncomfortable. But it's the most worthwhile thing I could ever do. And it will set me free. So let's fucking do it. Bring it out. And those men, man, those are some of the most powerful men in the world. All right, so you may be asking, but CT, how? Okay, I got the wound. Some of the examples you gave resonate. I do that shit, right? I got the side chick, and I want to do the work. Well, like, where do I? Whoa, hold on. What do I do? Well, my friend, I coach men one-on-one. No. I do, but that was not a setup for the plug. The place to start, I would say, is, well, becoming aware, all right? And if you've already done that, then congratulations. But take inventory, man. Like, literally get your shit out, all right? Get your fucking journal out. And I have a free journal prompts PDF I can send you right now if you need some prompts, if you need some help getting started. But take your journal out, man. Get a pen and just write down like some stuff about yourself. Take inventory, right? A great place to start is, what patterns or behaviors am I engaged in that I really don't even want to be engaged in? What parts of my life am I unsatisfied with? Where do I feel unfulfilled? Where do I feel I play small? Where do I feel conscious of others' judgments? Where do I self-destruct, right? Ask yourself some of those questions. Become aware of the wound itself, right? Because when we become aware, we can trace back. What are the origins? And once we understand the origins, we can do some of the work, right? We can do some of the emotional processing required to free ourselves from the wound, required to fucking literally stitch the shit up. And so, what does that look like, man? What does the work look like? CT, you keep saying the work. What the fuck does that even mean? That is the processing. That is the forgiving of yourself and those who harmed you. That is the empathizing and humanizing yourself and those who harmed you, right? That is the releasing of all anger, of all resentment, of all bitterness, right, towards people. I'll give you a really good example. I just told a friend the other day, I said, hey man, when I was going through some shit, like processing some old emotions, I was having what I just call them anger sessions. And what I would do is I would just look like a complete psychopath for about 30 minutes a day, you know, wherever I could fit that in. And I would go somewhere private, like my fucking house, where no one's gonna call the cops, and I would just fucking let it out, man. Physically, right? This shit is literally stored in the body. So we have to physically let it out. What would that look like? I don't know. Sometimes I would just jam some music, shadow box and shit. Sometimes I'd beat the fucking shit out of my pillow or bed or whatever, and sometimes I'd end up crying on the floor. And you may think that sounds weird, or I can't cry, or I don't cry, or I don't want to look crazy. Well, there's your fucking problem. You're not ready to do that work then. And that's okay. Not all of us are ready, right? But if you're ready, you are going to have to process physically and emotionally, mentally, and spiritually those emotions. You're going to have to do that. That's something that is going to have to happen, right? Before you can be free. Because, all of those fucking emotions, right? That you felt as a kid, when you felt neglected, abandoned, rejected, ignored, little, whatever the fuck. You know how you kind of suppressed it? No, boys don't cry. Don't suck that shit up. Come on, I don't give a fuck. Fuck the world. All of that was just stored in your body, man. The body keeps the score. The body's got its own memory. And so in order to free yourself of all of that, you're going to have to actually experience all of that. The good news is, once it flows through you, however fucking long that takes, you're done with it. You're free as a bee. Thank you, man, for watching. I'm going to keep this short. Let me know if you want more stuff like this, man. We'll get into this topic even deeper. Like I said, I do one-on-one coaching, so get at me, man. All the best to you.